Oh, it is hot in here. What is up, y'all? So, I was drifting last night, and I didn't have any clips to, I didn't record anything, but here are some pictures of the aftermaths of the marks. Can you guess which one did the damage to my center support bushing? So if you remember, I had said we're going to run the stock center support bushing just out of curiosity to see how long it would last.
Stupid plan.
Well, our curiosity has been met with an answer, and the answer is it didn't last for fucking shit. Yeah, it lasted less than 1,000 miles. So I'm gonna go try to replicate the sound for y'all just so you can hear what I'm talking about. It doesn't seem to give me too much trouble whenever I am like at a high speed and then I put power to it, but it's whenever the rear end wants to slip, that's when it decides to get a little bit grumpy. Well, this is an awkward spot for a oh, my ABS is all sorts of fucked up. So I've been having problems with my ABS as well. I don't know if y'all remember, but we did replace the rear sensors, the wheel speed and ABS sensors. It's not doing it now. I have a code for the front sensors. So I think that the fronts have now started to go bad. Wow, this is kind of a dick move. Gross. I'm not on my bike. You see my lights just came back, or my lights went off. So it's this intermittent thing, and it's a front right wheel speed sensor as well as a rear right. So I'm not sure why it's throwing my rear right when that's a brand new sensor. But that weird pedal feel that I had, that's the first, I just felt it again. It's the first time that I'm feeling it. We need more power. It's not enough to put the drive shaft in a bind yet. And my front brakes are squeaking really bad, which is annoying.
My car is falling apart.
This thing will get up to temperature. Oh, there, it's kicking my thing. Maybe that's what threw me off. Okay, did you hear that? That's what I'm talking about. It's just it's a wobble that I can feel in my drive shaft, just like I felt whenever my U-joints were going bad. But I know that my U-joints aren't bad. Well, I don't know that. They could have been fucked up already by my welded diff. Wouldn't be surprised. But it's that's what it feels like. I know that I left the stock center support bushing in there just out of curiosity to see how long it would last. You know what I mean? And little did I fucking know that it doesn't last at all. I thought I would at least get like 1,000 miles out of it or something, but I literally got like 500, if that. You know what I'm like? It's pitiful. I wish that all this was not here. It's so hard to see past it. When you slide the car, it just has this like this chug along, and I feel like it's my flimsy center support bushing, because I had that JXB thing that was like a real dense piece of rubber, but now it's not a dense piece of rubber. It's a flimsy, super thin piece of rubber that, like, even with my hand I could move it around. So joke's on me, I've got to take the exhaust and everything back out already just because I wanted to be a little bit lazy, and it initially started as curiosity, but the more I think about it, it was laziness with a hint of curiosity, that I could be like, I'm curious enough to honor this laziness. So I'm definitely gonna have to do something about the front sensor. God, that's a tough one to pull out of. See if that Camaro wants to play. real good there. It's whenever I oversteer and go to correct and kind of lift out a little bit, that's when you really, really hear it. That Camaro's boring, by the way. What kind of a sports car sees another car run and doesn't want to do it too? I'm really, really liking these new wheels and tires. You like wheels based on looks, and I mean, performance is what it is. But I like how predictable the slip on these is. Like I can push it in a corner, and I know when they're gonna let loose, and then once they let loose, they're consistently loose. So I don't have to fight with it back and forth, which I really, really appreciate. So now I gotta try to do some sketchy turn. I got scared. I thought that I saw that four-door white car, and I'm like, shit, cop. We've probably overstayed our welcome out here anyways. We'll go back. Okay, that's the best example that we're gonna get out of it. It's a when it starts to slip. Every time it slips, it's like the drive shaft moves and goes, and we're hearing that, or something along those lines. I don't think that the rubber's probably broken under there, but I do feel that the rubber's probably degraded a substantial amount. Maybe not like cosmetically, but it, you know, the flexion of it, the give that it has, is probably significantly higher than it was when we first put it in there. So curiosity does indeed kill the cat, or at least creates a bunch of extra work for the cat. It's worth the cat. But I feel more confident swinging the car on back roads and stuff with these tires. My other tires, they were Kenda 265s. I liked the grip they had when I would really huck the car. But then if I wasn't like fully hucking the car, it was difficult, not difficult, it just, I had to try more to get them to break loose. And once they're loose, they're very consistent. But it was that very difficult commit to get them to break that I was not a fan of. This car's really kind of screwing up my path here. I need somebody up here with like a walkie-talkie, like, yep, you're good. I wanted to keep my foot in that, but the fact that it was so jarring in the rear end, I didn't want to. So there you go. There's some sliding. I'm still, I'm still practicing. I'm still getting better. Hopefully this was a little bit of proof of that. But I really wanted to just show you all the noise that I was hearing when I was sliding around last night. It really feels too flimsy though to be U-joints, and not like mechanical enough, if that makes sense. It's every type of drifting is a little bit different. It all teaches you the same balance and the same kind of skill set, but like back road drifting, for instance, is something that I've done way more than track drifting. And so when I come into turns, I'm not very good at like the feint entries and stuff, because I get nervous on little roads. You see me, I try to swing the car around. I know that I don't do that good of a job, but I do try. So I'm just basically trying to get a better understanding of how to get the rear end loose on the car on small roads like this without having to clutch kick it or do something like that. Because what I have got to do with this stuff is, like, I'll come into a turn a little bit hot, and then where I've preloaded out and then come back in, it's enough to get the rear end to break loose, once you're into the turn. I feel like I probably lose some quote-unquote style points because I'm not initiating before the turn, and I'm kind of like halfway through, like, oh, there we go, now we're sliding. And then from that, I can slide it around and do pretty good, but I don't have that feint entry, quite figured out yet. So, and I don't have an e-brake. This thing's useless, clearly. So it's all feint stuff. It's all getting the rear end loose and kind of walking it around like that. That's really all that I have to initiate. So for backroad stuff, it's difficult for me sometimes just because of how the car is set up, and lack of skills at the moment. God, those brakes are squeaky. Yeah, all we can do is keep practicing, which we'll of course continue to do, and then from in time we'll just get more confidence in our feint entries and our flicks and stuff, and we'll get more understanding of how to manipulate this car better. Which I feel like we're getting better at, because like, even though I don't feel that I'm like really sending stuff, I am drifting on back roads, that are kind of small, and that in itself is its own little skill set. So I'm I try to honor myself at least a little bit, like, hey, you're trying with the best that you know, you're doing the best you can with the environment that you have. So if anyone's got any tips and stuff on how I can do better on what I'm doing in the streets, other than, you know, more speed, bigger balls kind of thing, I'm welcome to all, you know, any and all tips. But yeah, so you've heard the sound, you've seen us slide around. Let's pull the car in the shop here and get the exhaust off, get the drive shaft down, and start working on getting that JXB track bushing put back on there, and hopefully kind of cure this nonsense that we're feeling right now. I have to, every time, dude, I have to. Gotta clean the tires off. Okay, car's in the shop, guys. Let's get started and get the exhaust. Actually, let's let the exhaust cool off because it will melt our fingers right now. But let's get the exhaust cooled off, get it down, and then get to that drive shaft, and we'll kind of go from there. We'll give a little update based on what we find.